In today's video, we're going to be going over the latest and greatest DCEU, DC Universe, Snyderverse-based news that has come out during the weekend. There's been some really interesting truth bombs being dropped by Warner Brothers. Now, that's a very interesting story. Also, apparently, the Flash movie ending has changed again. But the movie's been locked and finished for months. Someone isn't telling the truth. Now, we know The Flash is being screened, literally. I'm recording this at the weekend, so on Tuesday, CinemaCon, it's being screened. But what's actually being screened? And it's been test screened recently. The movie doesn't come out till June. So why do they keep changing? Are they changing? We don't know, but apparently James Gunn has no input into these changes. This movie's nothing to do with him. There is still a lot of confusion going on at DC until the new universe starts. And we're also going to go over some other things. So, what is freaking good, YouTube? What's you? If you're new around, make sure to subscribe to never miss any Marvel, DC, pop culture, kaiju, monsterverse-based content that we cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. What do you think is going on at Warner Brothers? So, we're going to go over this Warner Brothers story first because this is interesting. Warner Brothers blames James Gunn, DC reboot, for some of Shazam 2's poor performance. Now, it's worth saying, I'm not being biased here. I'm just reporting what's come out over the last couple of days. I've said, and I will be critical whenever I feel like it, that it was a very bad game for James Gunn and Pete Safran to come out and say, Shazam 2, The Flash, Aquaman 2, they're all irrelevant until the new universe starts. Because the new universe doesn't really kickstart until after Creature Comforts, according to James Gunn's Twitter account, which he really needs to stop talking on. It doesn't start till 2025 until Superman Legacy comes out. So Shazam 2 was marketed so poorly to the point where it made the movie look worse than it actually is. Why would you come out before all these movies that they've already filmed come out and say, yeah, they basically are irrelevant? So this article should really read James Gunn stroke Pete Safran's reboot is to blame. Now the wording of this article is really interesting. So it's come from the rap that it's a bit shady. Allegedly, Warner Bros. Discovery may be blaming the box office disappointment of Shazam Fury of the Gods, at least partially, on James Gunn. I think that's a bit unfair. It should say James Gunn, Pete Safran, up-and-coming DC reboot. Yeah, because why would you announce a huge reboot before you've still got 4 movies to come out? The sequel was projected to hit $35 to $38 million domestically already, for below the $53 million for Shazam 2019, which I still think is much better. But me, it left its March 17th first weekend with a mere $30 million domestically and a $65 million total. And then you look at movies like Super Mario Bros. That's well over $700 million, made more than Ant-Man 3. You've just got to make a good movie with a good story. And I don't think the movie was bad, but I don't think it was very good. The rap source claims reaching the 35 million projection would have been taken as a reasonable outcome for Warner Bros. Discovery, but the studio thinks Gunn up-and-coming reboot dipped general audience's interest in Shazam 2 and the existing universe. It did massively, and this will impact the Flash movie. But with the Flash movie, you do have Michael Keaton, you do have Ben Affleck Batman, so there's a little bit more for the Gen Pop audience to go watch it because they want to see the Burtonverse Batman, and they want to see the Snyderverse version of Batfleck, I guess you could say, the last time potentially. That being said, the studio is said to believe Gunn and Safran's new reboot projects will be able to overcome this hurdle when it gets underway, with the first release said to be on Max 2024. Why would you change HBO Max to Max? I don't think Creature Comforts is going to do anything personally. So it's interesting because, as we know, Warner Bros. Discovery is the overall studio, but according to James Gunn's Twitter, why do I keep referring to his Twitter account? You guys hate me talking about tweets, but James Gunn says, and we've always known this, I don't know why people needed him to affirm it, DC Studios is running like an independent studio. All right, bro, cool story, bro, because you look at Marvel. Marvel Studios is still governed, is still sanctioned by Disney. So It's all right going, yeah, it's an independent studio. I don't actually believe you. I really don't believe you. Because just like the head of Disney, currently Bob Iger, the CEO, if David Zaslav says, yo, you've got to do this, they would do it, but they won't actually mention it to anyone. But, yeah. Okay, so it is an independent studio, but it can have the studio get it involved whether James Gunn likes it or not. So this article goes on to say, will the other movies flop? And then obviously there's an image of Aquaman 2, there's an image of The Flash, and there's also an image of Blue Beetle, but what they're doing with that is they're trying to say Blue Beetle is now part of the DC universe. It's a new movie in a new cinematic universe when all they've done is taken out the references to Superman and Supergirl that were actually originally in it. Now, Aquaman 1 grossed over $1 billion at the box office. So if the second one doesn't at least do 800, it'll be classed as a flop. And then James Gunn and Pete Safran may get the blame again because you're scrapping everything. You should have used The Flash. Now, we're going to go on to The Flash now. So The Flash keeps getting this ending that keeps changing, and realistically, it's not actually changed at all, really, if you've got real information. The ending, okay, we'll go over the info, but the ending hasn't really changed much. It's just changed a tinny bit. They should have used it to set a new universe. So this article came out, and it's really misleading. The Flash movie ending reportedly gets a last-minute change. Rumor, okay, I may put that in the title, sorry guys. It's not last minute because the movie is supposed to be finished a long time ago. Post-production was supposed to be finished a long time ago. So all these changes, it comes out in June. It's only April. They edited Ant-Man 3. They did reshoots of Ant-Man 3 in January. The movie came out in February, and that was shown heavily in poor CGI scenes being cut, so it was disjointed. But to keep using this last-minute changes, no, it's April. It's not really a last-minute change. So the Flash rumor teases exciting cameos and ending changes. Full story, bro. So we're not going to say the source here because it's irrelevant. The movie is now complete. It's been complete for such a long time. This is why I don't really believe these changes, because these changes are nothing that I haven't already said on the channel for at least a month. CinemaCon 24th to 27th. The Insider added the ending has been changed to be more vague, particularly noting how the cameo isn't what you think it is either. The cameo in question likely refers to the rumor of George Clooney Batman appearing. The problem with this ending is a lot of these insiders make stuff up, and then they actually do have somewhat sources, but it's like a second-hand source. It's not like direct info. It's not like they're getting information from someone at the studio. They're just getting information from someone at said test screener, which isn't really being an insider, if you ask me. Apparently, that isn't the only cameo. The Speed Force cameos galore include a CW connection and a Dream cameo, which will be what everyone talks about. Very interesting. So now you've probably seen a bunch of stuff going around the internet that is saying the Superman at the end of the movie will actually be none other than Nicolas Cage. So it's interesting when Scooper insider Twitter people actually say a lot of contradictory things. So apparently there's a Batman and a Superman cameo at the end of the movie. They are both retro and most likely just for fun. Big name actors, though not Henry Cavill. And then it goes on to say, we'll have to see from leaks on Tuesday. That's when they're screening the movie. It's not actually leaks because it's kind of irrelevant, the ending. It's just to set up a vague kind of, yeah, this is the multiverse and anything can happen in the multiverse, which has always been the case for the longest time ever, realistically. So yeah, the ending's somewhat changed, but they're just leaving it open-ended like they were going to do anyway. But at the same time, James Gunn, Pete Safran haven't got involved. So how the hell does this ending keep changing according to internet folk on Twitter? I really find it hilarious how they're not changing anything, but all of a sudden all these changes keep on being made. From where though? Who's making them? Because the movie's been locked for months apparently. Its post-production's been finished for months, but changes keep happening. So apparently also, now they're making no changes, but apparently every single Zack Snyder Justice League reference was removed in the most recent test screener. Now, this isn't the first time fans have heard the potential ending change, as Grace Randolph, and to be fair, Grace Randolph was right about Superman being done and dusted in terms of Henry Cavill. She was right. When everyone on the internet said she was wrong, even when the information came out about the Black Adam scene with Superman, she still said, no, Henry Cavill Superman is done. So it goes on to say, previously said how under the instruction of DC Studios CEO James Gunn, The Flash removed all the movie's ending teaser. According to Grace Randolph, the ending overhaul cut out Henry Cavill Superman, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, Sasha Calle Supergirl, and Michael Keaton Batman, although the latter two remain confirmed to appear in the movie's bulk. So the movie was going to set up some kind of crisis event at the end of it, pretty much set up the new Justice League. And then they decided to make some kind of new universe. Will the Flash ending set up James Gunn's new reboot? No, because they've publicly said they've not casted Superman, they've not casted Batman, they've not casted any of the new characters, so it can't set up anything. It's just going to leave it ambiguous with like, oh yeah, this is potentially, we have the multiverse here, but they're not going to go down the multiverse route because that would be just generic if they did that. But it is interesting, suggesting a dream cameo. People think it's Christian Bale Batman, people think it's George Clooney Batman, but from what people are saying, it is your boy, Dracula, he's playing Dracula at the moment in cinema, Nicolas Cage. That's the massive surprise. DC erasing the Snyderverse reference from The Flash. Yes, because like I keep saying, James Gunn, Pete Safran, the new studio heads want nothing to do with the Snyderverse, so they're removing all ties. But they can't really remove the ties because the fact that Ezra Miller, the Flash, if he continues to be the Flash in the new universe, he's not going to be brainwashed or anything like that. So he will still know about the old timeline. So it's not really being erased in that sense. And then a lot of other people on Twitter, LOL at the Snyder stuff being shit-canned. Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's obvious as well. Apparently, he never traveled back in time before and doesn't remember ever meeting Iris. There's so many weird takes. The minor, vague references are still there, even though the bigger ties to Snyderverse won't be included. So I do find it funny when scoopers go at each other. So the Flash film news said this. The minor vague references are still there. They have to still be there because Ben Affleck talks to him before he runs back in time and stops his mother being killed. So they've got to be somewhat there because it's a multiversal movie. And I can't wait to see the new trailer that comes out this coming Tuesday. We'll be breaking it down. I actually basically have all the information for the movie, the most recent cut of it. And I will be getting a full breakdown of what is shown at CinemaCon. So subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. I will go over that irrespective of being over the plot leak before. We will go over that when we get hold of that information. So likewise, guys, let us know. What do you think about the future of DC? Are you looking forward to James Gunn confirming the new Superman? I do feel sorry for whoever is hired as the new Superman because they are going to get a lot of stick and a lot of hate from Henry Cavill Snyderverse fanboys before whoever is hired as Superman even gets a chance to show what he can do. He's going to get massacred online. He's going to get so much hate. So whoever they do hire, I really hope they can mentally prepare themselves for the onslaught. I mean, it's famous. It came with Robert Pattinson. Batfleck got a lot of hate when he first started. Now people love him. But it's going to be interesting to see whenever they reveal whoever it is. A lot of people think it's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this coming summer, hopefully. But yeah, I do support the new DCU. And I know what you're going to say. This is hate. No, it's not hate. It's just my unfiltered opinions. Likewise, guys, check us out on Instagram at WishJu. Check us out on Twitter, WishJuG. And I'll catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch ya later.